right. It was coming, it was like, what is just got it? Send it off. My buddy, wait. Yeah, you know, at the end of the day. Okay, well, she did her full and I do it. She sign up. She's going up. Yes. I mean, past like 8 years. Oh, okay. Yeah. But it's true.
I'm really glad that worked out. That's great. Yeah, I think so too.
What do you got today?
Who was the campaign person?
Charles. I know his emails like just initials.
Make sure you get How's your hubby? Is that time of year we wrapping up?
But we'll see.
Let's see if this person is there.
Hi, good morning. How are you? Join us.
Good morning. I see there's a Lauren and a Jim. Are either one of you guys presenters?
I'm not a presenter, Dan. Can you hear me?
Yes. Is that Jim?
Yes. Yes. Hey, Dan.
Okay. Phil has Charles. He said
that?
Jim. Jim is the presenter. Is your name Jim or Charles?
No, it's Jim who's talking, but I'm not presenting.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Hey, Dan.
All right. All right. And Jim, what's your last name?
Oh, it's Jim Kerr.
Hey, Jim. How's it going? All right. I just saw first
How you doing?
name. Yeah, Phil was looking at the list of people that are logged in, and I didn't see a familiar name. I saw Jeff Palmer's on, and then there's a Lauren on.
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't sign
doesn't have
in.
your last name. Yeah, it just has your first name. That's okay.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Let me see if I can fix that.
Okay. And Jeff, and there's a Lauren. Lauren, can you let us know who you are? We're gonna stop sharing.
All right, I changed it, Dan.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right, Lauren. Oops. Lauren left. I guess she was in the wrong meeting. All right. So no speaker yet.
Oh, it's Phil. Yeah, but I'll have also
Charles.
Sarah
Right. Yeah.
joining us, so he'll chime in.
Right. No, it's not on yet. Okay.
I'm not sure I have that. He's doing it. 86.
Okay.
Well, versus Joe getting history about years ago. And I was going to let him chime in. We'll show the video.
Right.
I'll let him chime in. But I have, I spoke with Luke. I didn't speak with Luke Ryan. I sent an email. And he was unable to attend, and he gave me very incorporated in a little a little retrospect, just short, a little paragraph.
Okay. All right. Galaxy S. They're not on yet. Their audio is not ready yet. All right, Galaxy. Are you Charles? We're looking for our speaker. Good morning, Galaxy 21. Can you let us know who you are? Oops, no audio. Oh, there you go. All right. Galaxy 21, are you our speaker?
No, hello. Hi.
Yes. Hi, who's this?
All right, got it.
Who's this?
Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
Hey,
All right. Where are you coming from, Lauren?
I'm home right now
Okay. All right. Are you
in
helping?
Harleysville. Yeah, Lauren Miller. I'm at meetings often, just not today.
Oh, right. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well,
All right.
thanks for joining us, Lauren.
Thanks.
I'm just searching for the speaker because they said that they were going to try to log in, and we're at 7:02 right now.
Ah, okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me.
All right. And I'll change your name. All right. We may just start rolling without the speaker.
Okay, thanks.
No speaker. So, oh no, I think Phil was saying that he was just going to chime in.
Yeah.
So if the guy's on, I'll just let Phil know once he gets to the night portion. Yeah.
Once we get the orders done, we'll get going.
Okay. Oops, there he is.
Okay.
All right. Charles is here. Phil, he's on. Oh, okay. Yeah, just came on.
All righty. This was last year.
Wait, I'll tell you what. I'll tell the guys to come out of that point.
Know about philosophy. That was his.
Yeah.
Philosophy. You know, and there was a whole series of arguments.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how that's going.
How old are they?
They're, well, for the 4-week they just need to get this.
So they,
Did you want to order anything?
I'm right here, I'm all right. Oh, yeah, I'm on top of it.
Anyway.
Thank you for I think they just walked in. Wow, all right.
Well, you know what? Wait. She was just that.
I'll do it, I'll do it.
You'll play today. Oh.
Wonder where I put my ticket.
Are they seeing us?
Yeah.
Good morning. Charlie Philip here.
How are you, Larry?
You may or may not be tuned in. But he's on board. Okay.
I think I did. In my old company, I interviewed yesterday with the town manager, and Thursday was my hearing. So, it looks promising, but I.
Looks like he stepped
Step
away.
aside.
But yeah, that's, my,
Take your bag now.
You better find driver when it's done.
Thanks, Gary.
I think, is this it?
These are, you know, timekeeper, score tally, and Jerry.
Good morning. Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning and welcome to the
There's
weekly.
something going on in the morning, or something?
I think it's Jeff doing an announcement.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now, the four-way test of all the things we say and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And our reflection this morning will be from Anna Holton.
Good morning. Heavenly Father, in our hearts we plan our course, but we pray that you establish our steps. I pray that we seek you for advice. Let us not make decisions based upon what we know, but let us act based on your wisdom. Please guide us, Lord. We place this meeting in your hands. We place our hearts and our minds in your hands so that you may direct us.
Amen. Thank you, Anna. Okay, we've got a busy spring coming up, like I was saying last week. So there's some exciting things going on. I know a lot of people brought in some of the ingredients for the basket for the gala, so thank you for those who did. Frank will be assembling that and dropping that off at the William Penn Inn on Saturday for the gala. So I think that's going to turn out super nicely. Is there anything else that you need or any comments you have on that, Frank?
Everybody said what they said, it's here, so.
Okay.
You did a great job, and I appreciate it very much. In fact, I might bet on myself now.
So thank you for everyone who brought things in for that. So coming up on the 22nd, which I think is next week, right? It's next week, the 22nd? Yeah. The four-way test speech contest will be taking place at Dock Academy, and that'll be at 2:45 in the afternoon. Bill, do you have any comments or updates on that or any special needs?
Yeah, absolutely. We still need two more volunteers, if you will. We need a score tallier and a judge. So if we can fill those slots, that's what we need. Yeah, letting the kids self-judge on it's not a good idea. But anyway, it is next Wednesday. Let me know as soon as possible if you can fulfill that because it is required. And other than that, I would say, please come, show up. It's interesting. Students do a great job.
Hey, Phil.
Starts at 2:45. If you're participating and doing it, please be there at 2:30. Make sure I'll bring judges' score sheets and the forms for the tallies and so on.
Lanny says he can judge.
Oh,
Lanny.
okay, good. Oh, good. That fills one. Terrific. Thank you.
I plan on attending, so if there's any vacancies, I can fill one.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, Jim had signed up to do some transitional speaking.
Okay.
And if he doesn't,
I'm here.
oh, you're
Jim's
here.
I'll do it. Yep.
Okay.
Hey, Phil, any prep for that needed or?
The idea is that in between speakers, there's always a little downtime while the judges tally their, put together their scores and fill it in. And usually it's a situation where we have a speaker in between. They may talk about the Harleysville Rotary Club, about Rotary in general, and it depends how many in between contestants we have. So it's kind of be prepared. It's very general, informal, but it can be anything, as I said, about our local club, about RI International, maybe even about the foundation, and what Rotary does. So you have free reign.
Okay. Thanks.
Tallier yet? Anybody good in math?
On March 25th, which I think is a week from Saturday, there will be an RLI at the Gambit Center, which is at DeSales University up in Center Valley. That is a half-a-day program. It starts at 7:30, ends at approximately 1 o'clock. If you have any interest in registering for that, there's information for that on the district website. On April 14th, a designer bag bingo is coming up. Jackie, how's that? Is there any updates on that?
We're gonna have chances. There's gonna be 10 bags. It'll be 10 games. It'll be 2 special games, all included. You get an extra ticket if you bring something for Jennifer Blessing bags. What else? Hopefully we'll get a nice group of people. And we are gonna sell some food like for $1 or $2. So it's gonna be like pretzels, water. You can bring your own food, you can bring your own alcohol, but it's pretzels, water, soda, and I think we're doing Chick-fil-A sandwiches. So you'll have that opportunity if you would like. Men can come, Chip's coming with his group of men. The men can come. You can get a beautiful.
On the floor, yeah.
You could get a nice purse for your wife.
All right, so that's coming up on the 14th. The next day, on Saturday, the 15th, if anyone's interested, the Perkiomen Watershed is having their annual stream cleanup. This is the largest stream cleanup in the state of Pennsylvania. So you can, if you go on the watershed website, you can sign up for different areas. I signed up for one in Harleysville. So you'll be able to see if you're interested in participating, you want to sign up and you want to do something in Harleysville, you should be able to see my name. I think there's 2 slots in Harleysville. You should be able to see my name in one of them. So if we can have other people included in that, that'd be a great event for us, an opportunity for us to wear our Rotary swag around town and while we're cleaning up a waterway in Harleysville. On the 22nd, Saturday morning, which would be the following Saturday, we're doing our spring Adopt a Highway. There is a sign-up sheet that's circulating for that. As we normally do, we will meet in the parking lot behind the Harleysville Bank, across from Hennings, and we'll break up into like 3 or so teams and clean up the road all the way up to Allentown Road. And I think after that, if we have an opportunity, maybe we'll drive across the street to Hennings and get a cup of coffee and socialize for a short period before everyone disperses. Family bowling night is that evening on the 22nd. Valerie, do you have an update on that or anything you want to add?
We do. So Saturday, April 22nd, we have the entire facility. That means we have 34 lanes to sell. I've sold 2. That is 32. It's $125 for the lane. 4 to 6 bowls per lane. So families with kids is a family affair. So it's going to be absolutely perfect. It is a BYOB. We do anticipate having some food items that we're selling as part of our fundraiser. The snack bar will also be open. We're If you're interested in being a part of that, any more details, please reach out to me. Once we get our Eventbrite link reactivated, basically, and thanks to the flyer, we'll get that out. So hopefully by next meeting, we'll have those things for us. So thank you very much.
Yeah, that'll be an exciting event, and that'll be a lot of fun, especially if we, Rotary takes over the whole place. Yeah. On May 13th, we are going to have a service day at the Sebastian Riding Academy. I've been told that another group has taken the Plinko board idea. So if we have another idea that we want to think of for an interactive thing that we can put along the riding trail. Otherwise, Chris is going to be putting together a list of activities for us to do, and I'll be in touch with her in the next few weeks to see how if she has anything specific that she's going to earmark for us for that day, so we can start to plan for that. And that'll be on May 13th. On May 17th is the four-way test breakfast. There's a lot of information that's going to be coming out about that. It sounds like everything is very well organized and underway. Obviously, we're going to be looking for sponsors for that. We're putting the booklet together. If anyone has any questions about that, we'll have, I think we'll be sending, Jeff will be sending information about that out to the club if it hasn't come out already. And June 25th, we just found out that is our day for concert Sundays for Sundays in the Park. June 25th. There is a meeting coming up for that. What was the date of that, Marcia?
March 25th.
All right, March 25th, which is a Saturday morning at Broad Street Grind in Souderton. They're having an organizational meeting for that. Marcia and I are going to try to attend to gather what information we can about the do's and don'ts on concert Sundays. And we have a couple questions we want to make sure we ask while we're there. But the 25th, right before the 4th of July, so right in the middle of the summer, it should be a great opportunity for us to organize a great event for that.
John, can I jump in and talk about the four-way breakfast quick again?
Yes, yep.
Okay, so hi, everyone. My name's Jeff Palmer. I very seldom get to the in-person meetings, but I'm joining virtually as much as I can. So the four-way breakfast awards committee has been working diligently, as you know, since October. Our event is scheduled for May 23rd. Our honorees are Carol Bauer, who's one of our Rotary members. We have Barbara Johansson and Mark Berge. And I sent out yesterday the updated links. The links will take you now right to either the Eventbrite webpage, which is our event itself, which is the four-way breakfast, or it'll take us to our website, and the website link is right at the top of the page that Larry had posted. So as of now, our main purpose is to get ads and sell tickets as we move forward. We hope to see everyone at the event. Rotary Club members who are members of the four-way breakfast committee are Gary Volpe, Marcia. We also have Dean, who is a member, Kyle, Steve, myself, John, and Tyra. So if you have any questions about the upcoming four-way breakfast award on May 23rd, we hope to see everyone there, but you can reach out to any of our committee members. We hope to have a great event as we have in the past. Thank you.
It's May 17th.
I'm sorry, May 17th. I have another event, May 23rd.
Can we come?
You're more than welcome to come, but I don't know if you'd want to do some professional development with me.
Thank you, Jeff. After the concert Sundays to round out the summer, on August 11th, we will be helping with the 4-H fair with parking again this year. Yes, Frank?
Just, I got the thing in. I don't know if this is SAG or crack, but the band is the Philly Fun Party, fun dance party. That's the kind of music it's going to be. So, are they good? I hope a lot of you will be short for that one.
So for volunteers for that event, that means maybe we'll have a costumed theme for that event. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about any of the events we have coming up? I think we need to focus on some of our, I think what we might call our marquee events, which will be the family bowling night, the four-way and the four-way test breakfast. And we certainly want to give as much support as we can to the Diner Bag Bingo event on the 14th. Anyone else have anything that they want to make sure they mention or they add for upcoming events?
I do.
Yes.
So today is John's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I feel like double dry hot, but hope we can celebrate.
My birthday's in 11.
Oh my gosh, Valerie, thank you so much. Okay.
Are we gonna sing?
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Thank you, everybody. Getting to the point where I'm counting the months to when I can retire. So that's all for our events today. So, and then next is we'll do Rotary trivia. Yeah. Yeah. I always like to wait till you're partially done your meal to announce that. Yeah. All right.
Larry, if you would please.
Live from the Franconia Cafe, it's another exciting edition of Rotary Trivia. Join us as one lucky contestant will play to win a fabulous grand prize by showing us what they know about Rotary. I'm your announcer, Larry Moss, here with their host, Bill Zink.
Good morning. Welcome. Thank you, Larry. All right, let's get started by telling the audience about today's grand prize.
Also, it's the director of censorship to our spokesperson, Diana Hayes.
Oh.
Courtesy of Dean Schellenberger, today's contestants playing for a Rain-X 11-inch ice scraper, featuring a sleek black and yellow design, together with a textured rubber grip that provides comfort and keeps you in ultimate control. The 4-inch wide windshield scraper removes ice and frost with ease. Flip the tool over to use the separate ice chippers that will quickly cut through the toughest ice with minimal force. Retail value of our ice scraper has a lot of cold cash.
Of course. Well, you know, the other day I needed to scrape my windshield and I didn't have the scraper. So, yeah, being a resourceful person, I got out of my wallet the old, credit card. Well, like it was a loyalty card. One of those things I didn't use a credit card. The loyalty card, but even scraping away, the best I could do was get 10% off. Anyway, how about introducing today's contestant?
Today's contestant was selected at random from our studio audience. This Rotarian is as knowledgeable as they come, and with the correct answer, this Rotarian will no longer need lifelines to get by in a Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to Anna Holloway!
All right, ladies, where are we? Okay. All right, let's see what we do or don't know about Rotary. Here you go already. Yeah. What is the Rotary Action Group WASH? WASH, what is that? Water, Service and Hope, Water, Sanitation and Hygiene, Water, Air, Soil and Habitat, Wash and sanitize your hands. That was in the bathroom. Anyway, what do you think? Now, you do have lifelines. You have Ask a Friend, a 50-50, and an Ask the Audience if you're not sure.
I'm gonna ask the audience.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's ask the audience. All right, audience, how many think it's A, water, service, and hope? All right, how about B, water, sanitation, and hygiene? Ooh.
Oh, Frank's arms up, that's good.
Frank, yeah, that past district governor stuff is good for you. How about water, air, soil, and habitat?
There's always one.
He's our next president. And how about wash and sanitize your hands? Yeah, those that have been to the men's room. All righty, so the audience seems to think that it's B, water, sanitation, hygiene. What do you think? We're gonna go with B for the ice scraper?
Yes.
All right, let's eliminate the incorrect answers, Stan. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, don't worry about washing. Okay, and there we are, you are a winner. Yeah, but wait, there's more, as always.
Congratulations.
That's the Oscars.
We should put a champagne party in.
Yeah.
We only have so much of a budget. Anyway, here we go. Oh my gosh. What March is Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene Month. And actually, World Water Day is March 22nd. And ironically, there's a, they recommend doing a project during that time. And we will be doing a project at the watershed. It's on April 15th, I think, coming up, that opportunity, so we can be involved. But anyway, the WASH Rotary Action Group was formed in 2007 by a group of Rotarians recognized by Rotary International, and they focused on WASH projects. So WASH Rotary Action Group, they link water and sanitation to improve hygiene, better health, empowerment of the community, and especially women, irrigation, agriculture, education, literacy, and ultimately child mortality, make it better. They had like a little clip which really sums it up in one sentence. It says, there is no other single issue that can impact the health, education, economy, equality, and progress of all people than the need for clean water and sanitation. So it is really the basis. But anyway, Anna, thank you for playing. You're a winner. Thank you. I know you're giving out hugs and things. I just don't know. You overdid it. But thanks so very much.
So as we transition out of our, what could be an early spring, I mean, you might have a whole year before you had the opportunity to use your new valuable award. Yeah, so you just have to display it on the mantle. Yeah. Okay, next up, we have a presentation this morning. Phil will be kind of doing a brief introduction, and we have a speaker as well to talk about Camp Neidig, which is one of the, I think, marquee things that Rotary does to help young people as they to kind of grow and develop leadership skills. And it's been a program that Rotary's done for many years, and we've had some great support for that as a club, and we look forward to continuing our participation in that. Bill?
Got rid of me that quickly. Oh, Phil, can you? Oh, where do you want me? All right, podium. Oh, the podium. Oh my God. All right, today you're going to find out everything you always wanted to know about Camp Neidig, District 7430's their leadership camp. And this morning we're fortunate enough to have with us Charlie Incalcatera. I hope I got that right. He's the co-chair of the Rotary District 7430 Camp Neidig Committee, and he's joining us virtually today. So good morning, Charlie.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. So I'll give a brief introduction for Charlie, and then a little bit of a history, and then we have a video, and we'll let Charlie kind of jump in and give you an oversight and insight as to Camp Neidig. So let me start certainly by introducing Charlie. Charlie is a general dentist from Bethlehem. He has been a Rotarian since 1985, first with the Bethlehem Rotary Club, and then in 1989 serving as the inaugural president of the Bethlehem Morning Star Rotary. He has been on the Camp Neidig Committee since 1986. Mind you, our club was founded in 1984. or 1994, I'm sorry, 1994. And together with Wendy Bodie from the Allentown Rotary Club, they serve as committee co-chairs. So we are pleased to have Charlie with us today. Let me start out with a little bit of history about Camp Neidig. Camp Neidig was created by Joseph S. Neidig, who was the governing officer of Rotary District 2654 in 1950. Initially, the focus was primarily on sports, but during his term as governing officer, Neidig founded the Leaders of Tomorrow camp at Camp Delmont in Green Lane, PA. The purpose of the camp was to further the leadership abilities of young boys. After District 2654 split in 1961, the newly formed District 7430, our current district, decided to name the camp Camp Neidig in honor of the camp's founder. In 1990, females were invited to the camp for the first time as Camp Neidig became a coeducational experience. Through 1994, the camp was held at Camp Conrad Weiser in Wernersville. Camp Manatawny near Boyertown then hosted the camp from 1995 to 2000, from 2000 to 2001. Camp Neidig then moved to the Pocono Valley Resort. So there you go. 3 years later, Neidig proudly returns to Camp Manatawny in 2024, where it's been ever since. And that's, so I guess that's Douglasville, it's considered from that standpoint. And Troy, before we go to a brief video clip, you had a very interesting piece that you shared with me. Camp Neidig is one of the oldest RILA. It's a RILA program from Rotary Youth Leadership Award. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, sure. And I apologize. I have a little bit of a scratchy throat. I was at the New Jersey Devils game last night with my son. And, we're from Jersey, and we still have our heart there. They got kicked in there by 3 goals in the second period, so we left early, but still have a little scratchy throat. So yeah, Camp Neidig was really founded in 1950, as Phil had said, and but Rotary has not recognized that. Rotary, when you read some of the information about Rotary, they say that RILA was started in the 1970s. I think it was in Australia or something like that. So I've always had in the back of my mind to try to correct that information in the history of RILA, which is Rotary Youth Leadership Award. There are many different types of RILA awards throughout the world. Some focus on younger students and some focus on older, college age kids and stuff like that. We decided that we would focus primarily on rising senior high school students. So they've completed their junior year and they're about to enter the summer right before their senior year. And that's the focus of our RILA program. And as you know, many of you know, this is an overnight camp. Some of these are held at colleges. Ours is in a fairly somewhat rustic campsite. There's a pool and fields for sports and such like that. But we really did change the focus from that sports mentality to more bringing in outside leaders, such as yourselves, to give some presentations during the day or in the evening. The counselors that we have are all either teachers or on police forces or other professions, and provide leadership guidance to the young students as well. And we wrap up everything on Monday night. So the camp this year, I believe the dates are the 16th through the 19th of June. It's Father's Day weekend always. So it starts the Friday of Father's Day weekend. The kids come around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We get them registered. We make sure that they get broken up into their groups. We used to call them tribes. We're not allowed to call them tribes anymore. So they're put into groups. And then, they have dinner and then they start an evening leadership program. And then the next 2 days is a combination of sports, leadership, fun activities, campfires, skits. There's a yearbook committee that the kids get on and develop a yearbook in the 3 days. I see it being held up right there right now. And they do that really by the time the weekend's over, that's pretty much done. And we send it up for printing within a week afterwards, and that's back out in the kids' hands by the end of the summer. So it's a great memento for the kids to hold on to, and they make a lot of connections through this camp. So that's it in a nutshell. I did want to say it culminates on Neidig Night, which is Monday. I believe, again, that's the 19th this year. It's a chicken barbecue dinner that the parents are invited to and all Rotarians are invited to and guests. And there's a little bit of a presentation at the end of that evening where the students come in and there's a little bit of a rally. And we have awards for the camper of the week and then the overall camper of the week. So we pick one from each group as an outstanding leader. And from that group, we pick one overall outstanding leader of the camp for the entire week. And many times those outstanding campers come back the next year to act as counselors as well. So it helps to support the program and keep it sustainable.
Terrific, thank you. Dan, can you fire us up a video for Camp Neidig?
Did you ask me a question?
No, we're going to play the video.
Okay.
Like so. It was there.
I knew this was going to be a great experience.
An instant connection. As soon as we were in the tribe, we immediately knew we had to be like a family.
The mystery of Neidig is how in 4 days, like complete strangers really do become family.
It's been a great experience. Working with the kids is just terrific. To see them blossom in 4 days is really phenomenal.
I've seen how they've grown, how they've changed, and I think a lot of it started at Neidig.
As we ate together and did a lot of activities together, we bonded.
We had to work together. We had to get to know each other, break the comfort zones.
We have tribes here. We kind of developed like a little micro family.
All the activities that we did together, I think especially the problem solving has been really bonding for all of us. If you are someone who likes to make a change in the world someday, you should definitely come to Camp Neidig.
Camp Neidig is so much more than a camp. It's really a 4-day leadership experience for the students that are here.
You know, and the first thing that we do is we separate everybody because we really do try to foster, you know, new relationships and not clinging to old relationships.
A typical day starts at 7 a.m. and even things in the dining hall are designed towards student leadership in terms of the chants and the cheers and all of just the general camaraderie. After that, we might have some sort of problem-solving station or activity, all geared towards student leadership.
And we put everybody together and give them different scenarios that they have to work through together. So they're utilizing each other's strengths, and they have to communicate and learn from one another.
I was definitely looking forward to, camping, cabin experience. And I'm glad I did, because cabin mates and the people I rock climb with and for the rest of the leadership activities is those are like the best friends that I've made in 3 days.
For the problem solving stations, you're giving situations where it's very codependent with your teams and you have to accomplish the goal using your teammates, their strategies, your strategies combined.
It's amazing to see how a group who may not be familiar with each other kind of grows and builds some bonds together, and how they can learn to work together, succeed together, and really come to care about each other in a very short period of time.
We try to impart a lot of knowledge on the young people that come here so they can develop their own leadership skills and become better leaders, not only in their schools, but beyond when they get out into the community.
You know, people who are learning how to either take on a role of leadership or how to step back and be a supporter.
I'm so glad that I came here.
Well, and we've all grown tremendously over the last couple of days.
I would 100% recommend going to Camp Neidig.
By the end of the 4 days, the kids that all leave here are such great friends. They have a great experience and they really develop a lot of great skills.
After being here, they're definitely more confident, more self-assured, better leaders overall. And I think that's what Neidig's all about.
It's just like amazing to see in 4 days how these kids, you know, really transform.
Everything is purposeful, everything is geared towards getting these young people that are already great to be even greater.
Made us all one, like all of us everywhere, like all 150 of us. We're all part of a great generation of leaders that are eventually going to change the world one day, and this is just the first step.
it's a great video that's put together, and I don't know that it even encompasses all of what goes on and the connections that are made from that standpoint. I have a question kind of looking back, and it's an evolving process, Camp Neidig. What was it like when all of a sudden you decided to make it co-ed? You were on board at that point, and I guess it was in 1990.
Yeah, it was a discussion. We had some older, it was mostly guys on the committee, obviously mostly men on the committee, and then we did bring in one of the female Rotarians from Nazareth. I forget who she was, and we had this discussion that it's time to start opening this up to women. This is now Rotary is open to women. There's no reason we shouldn't be. And one of the older gentlemen said, "Let's wait a year." And when we brought that to the rest of the committee, the rest of the committee said, no, we're just doing this now. So the main thing was we were at the Conrad Weiser camp, and they did have cabins, I believe. They actually had closed cabins. So we made sure that the women were put in there. They had these yurts, the three-sided open tents. They had other tents as well. But we made sure that the females were placed into the cabins. And then, as time went on, actually the camp route right now is perfect for this because you have the camps in a horseshoe shape, and the one side is designated for men and the other side is designated for women. And then we of course have to be cautious, and we make sure that our counselors are kind of out at night, kind of roaming the outside, making sure there's nothing going on that would be an issue for us. But it's worked out very, very well. In fact, I think we're starting to see more women now as a percentage of the total campers than we have in the past.
It's a great opportunity. A couple different things. And this is again looking back. John, a great idea. He said, "What is the retrospective?" I'll say a year later. So last year we sent a camper, Luke Ryan, and he was unable to join us this morning. But it was I said, "What do you think about it all a year later?" So he couldn't join us, but he sent me back an email, and here's what he says. He goes, "A year after the experience, the most profound takeaway from the camp is that I made memories. Unforgettable memories. I've remained in touch with some friends from the camp and still think fondly of Team Green." That was the change from they were formerly Indian tribes and they went to colors. I guess that was just last year. Let's see. "One of the main skills that I learned while I was there is to let other people lead and listen to everyone's voice because everyone's thoughts are of value." So it's that notion of working together. And I suspect the kids that go there, and correct me wrong, these kids already possess leadership skills. We reach out to Doc Academy and we work, although anybody, if you have, it's for 11th graders or juniors, if you have a recommendation, we're more than willing to send campers. And I suspect that even if we would send 3, 4, it's $300, I believe, to send a camper for the year. But it is great. But if you send them along, but I think part of their leaders, now all of a sudden you have a group of leaders that are all put together. And not to go back to the Indian, you have all chiefs and no Indians. These kids are they're used to doing things, making things happen. And it is that notion of working together at the end of the day. And it's funny because talking about going back, my son David, back when he was in 11th grade, he went to Camp Neidig. And I happened to speak with him on the phone. I said, "Hey, what are you thinking back?" And he goes, "Well," because you realize that you are in a situation with a lot of, I don't want to say like-minded, but very capable, competent people. And that idea of having to work together was interesting too. Plus, he goes, "They also gave me an insight a little bit into myself because you get feedback." He goes, "That's when as he said, he goes, I determined that curse or not." He goes, "Yeah, they let me know about my sense of humor." And, so it's like, I don't want to take credit for that, but, you get some of those things that go back, but he likewise thinks back very fondly on it as far as the campers go.
Yeah, that's a great point. That, you find a bunch of kids who are kind of the top dogs in their school, and all of a sudden they're among all of these other top dogs. And some of them realize that, wow, I'm not so great. And there's some other greater people than me. And others find the opportunity to lead others too. And I think that's, what you said about them learning to listen. I hear that time and time again. And I don't know if that's something that they don't get, in their leadership development in high school, but they all come out saying, we really need to sit and listen and take in other people's opinions before making our final push for our decision. So that's a very valuable tool that they learn.
I'll open it up if anybody has it. Yeah, Frank.
I'd like to add a little to that. This was the first district committee I was on back in '88. And the first year I was there, it was all boys and so on. The second year, of course, Rotary had to limit us, as Charlie was saying. And I brought it up. Now I'm the new guy on the block. I brought it up. Nobody even listened. I mean, they didn't want to, that was it. The next year, we pushed it again, and we got 1 or 2, but the committee still wouldn't do anything. Then Jack Brent, I think that I was not in Harleysville at the time, but Jack Brent came on and said that Harleysville was doing some sponsoring or something, and he came on, then Charlie came on, and finally we got enough people to finally go to the women, and we had the women in there. But what Charlie, I don't know if you remember, the counselors who were teachers in the area schools, they were living. We had some of them that quit because they said, you don't know what you're getting into. We work with teenagers, boys and girls together isn't going to work well. It's going to be all kinds of stuff. After that year, we had come back to talk about feedback and so on. And if you remember, they came back and said, one of them that stayed said, I was amazed. He said it was the best year we ever had. He said it was fantastic. He said what really improved was the guys, when they were just guys, didn't shave, they didn't care, they just came around. He said all of a sudden they're shaving and everything and getting ready for stuff. And he said it was one of the best years they ever had. I mean, ever since. So, and Charlie and Wendy have been doing a fantastic job.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you too.
Good to see you.
Yes, Larry.
Yeah, my wife and I attended those graduation ceremonies many times, and everyone was just as great as the one before. Oh, one there. And those kids bond. I mean, they bond for life. They get kids from other schools, they stay in touch.
I think it's intentionally done, my understanding is, if we would have, say, 3 campers come from Dock, is they separate them. They don't put them all on the same team because they want them to stretch a little bit.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. If the kids are coming from the same school and oftentimes from the same club, we're trying to really separate them out so they have to expand their horizons, and reach out to other people that they're not familiar with. And it happens very quickly. As somebody said, within a couple hours on that video, they really bond together very quickly.
Len.
Yes, I mentioned this, I think, the other month to Tyler Hunsberger, who is our band for our Halloween parade. He was, I took him up whatever year that was, to and pick him up. So it's just kind of a feather in our hat that we know him, and he's doing some things for us now.
So was he a camper? Well, was he a camper?
Yeah.
Or he just went up for the ceremony with you? Oh.
No, he was a camper for the whole week.
That's interesting. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Al Engel was a camper going back. Remember the Southern Telford Rotary Club, long time, and he works also with the STEM program and things going forward. Or there's links.
The camp director that you saw in the video, he's not a Rotarian, Sean Hinkle, but he was a camper many years ago as well. So he's the one that, he now works at, he's had a number of jobs, but he's on the alumni board of Penn State Berks, but he's not even a Rotarian. He just loves doing this. And we do have a bit of a salary. We pay Sean for his time and some of the counselors for their time as well. We have printing costs for the yearbooks. We get the kids t-shirts and water bottles, and of course have to pay for the food and the rental of the facility. So that's where the $300 goes for the tuition that we use. And we do end up with a little bit of a pot at the end of the year, but we need that to move forward to buy again new supplies and put a down payment on the camp each year. So just want to, we do keep very good records of our income and expenses, and we don't ask for any money from the district at all. We're kind of a self-sustaining committee, and we just really, thank you for your support in doing this and making sure you get good kids there. We do, there's two things that you have to I look at things two ways. One is you could have a real shy kid who may not look like a great leader, and you send them there and that person turns into a great leader. They learn a lot and they blossom. And other times you may have somebody who you think is a great leader and they turn out to be a dud, so you can't always predict. But I think if you find somebody that, maybe has potential, and if you talk to the counselors at the school and say, is there somebody that really is kind of shy but has potential to really blossom in an experience like that, that's a great candidate to bring in, because that makes a big difference in our lives. I remember one year, a few years ago, that the Bethlehem the Bethlehem Downtown Club took a kid from the VOTEC, and which they rarely do. And again, the same thing, this kid was, really not an outstanding person, but he learned so much and grew so much in that weekend that it really had a great impact on his life. So you can make great impacts on these kids just, by choosing the right ones and getting them out there and giving this experience.
I had to step out for a phone call, so I'm sorry if you covered this, but have they done any statistics as to how many kids from Camp Natick have gone on to become Rotarians?
I don't have a good feel for that. It's something that, it's hard because we have over 100 and something kids each year. And then once the camp's done, we're moving on to other things in our lives and trying to get prepared for the next camp. We start planning for this in the fall. So camp ends in June, and by September, we're starting to work on next year's camp. It's not something we've really tracked. I know there's stories. I know there was Callahan from Bethlehem. He was mayor of Bethlehem, and he was a Rotarian. He was a Camp Natick person in the past, but I don't really have a good number on that.
That's interesting. Certainly, we have the campers come back and speak, to the club. But you do wonder. Should track them. I probably have a list of names going back years and years and years, but where they are now. But it would be interesting to almost have I don't know how possible it would be to have a Natick reunion day. I mean, I'll bet you there's kids, even though they would be in subsequent and different classes, it'd be fun for them to be here and talk about.
Not that they have to become a Rotarian, the camp itself is just an excellent opportunity for them to grow in leadership thing. But I'm just curious how many go on to Rotaract or become Rotarians.
I will tell you something though too that does happen for these kids. This is it's basically a scholarship, and so when they're writing their resume and their CV and their letters of applications, if they're going on to college, many of them have used this as a springboard, to enhance their application and to hopefully get into schools that they want. So make sure you're letting them know that this is an award that they've gotten, and they should put that on their CV.
And it was interesting too, you had mentioned that they can accommodate a great number of students, but you found that maybe in that 100, give or take, is an ideal number. But you could take 150 probably if you had to.
Yeah. I think the most we've ever had was close to 140. It gets a little bit, crowded. You have the pool use, you have the showers, you have the cabins, and then also the cafeteria. And we have enough counselors to do that. But it's like herding cats at times, So last year when we were coming out of the pandemic and we were requiring everybody be vaccinated, I think we ended up with around 91 kids. And the counselors were very happy because it wasn't as crazy. But we said, well, our goal is probably the 110 range, something like that. We think that's the most comfortable number. And if we get more, that's great. We'll take them. If we get less, we'll work with that as well. And speaking of the vaccinations, we decided, along with the leadership of the Rotary, that that's not required this year. Kids do not have to be vaccinated to go to Camp Natick. So we're taking that off. So that's not going to be an issue this year for kids that want to go that didn't have the vaccination.
They still require their medical form though, correct?
Yeah. There's a medical form, and the COVID vaccine question is on there. It was very interesting. A number of years ago, we had a parent who did not have any vaccinations for their child. They were anti-vax parents. And we had a big discussion about this. And I talked to the head of infectious disease at Lehigh Valley Hospital, and he said, it's not the rest of the campers that are at risk, it's that student who's at risk by not being vaccinated. So, you know, if they didn't have the mumps, rubella, measles, and somebody's carrying it, that child is actually more at risk than the other campers who are already vaccinated. So I'm not sure how COVID works, if that's still the same, you know, thought process that if you're vaccinated, and I know people still get COVID from after you're vaccinated. I've been vaccinated, 4 times, and I got it as well. But yeah, we're not going to require it this year. It's became a nightmare.
Yeah, Len.
Yeah, someone mentioned at our table that probably would have been good if some from Washington would have went to.
Yeah.
Washington DC, oh yeah.
We could have had the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the comment.
Okay, you repeat?
Someone mentioned at the table here that it probably would have been good if some from Washington would have went to Camp 90. Might have helped Washington.
They were all locked down.
Yeah. Any other questions? Troy, thank you very, very much for joining us virtually today. We appreciate your being here. And
well, thanks for having me, and thanks for supporting Camp Neidig. You guys sound like a fun club. One day maybe I'll get there in person, although it's very early.
Oh gosh. And you know what? I'll close and leave it with the best thing you can do is if you have any candidates, refer them our way, and seriously consider about going to that renowned barbecue closing ceremony. It'll be a great experience. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil and Charlie. That's great to hear all that great information about the camp. You know, it's been something that's been a long ongoing program, and I think it really, when the kids come out of that, like we said, we got the feedback from the camper that came to speak to us last year. And if you remember when he came to our club to speak, he was very poised, very well-spoken young man. And the introduction of the women into the camp, and the leadership skills that they provide, we see that more and more in society. I think a lot of times we think that, women run things better than men in most cases. At least that's been
Women rule, men rule.
at least that's been my observation at my house. So. Yeah. So. Yeah. Okay. On to anybody have any brags or shags this week? Randy.
First of all, thank you for the mention again my little fundraiser for Rotary Class. If you weren't here last week, trying to do 25 for 25. I got a lot of checks from people, and I appreciate it. I don't want any pressure, but this is my 25th Rotary Class mission coming up, and I can do something for that. So if you're inclined, asking people for a donation of $25 or more, it can always be more to Rotary Class International. And my SAG is, I guess, or brag, whatever, is this is probably my last Rotary meeting for about probably 7 weeks. I'll be at a conference next week out of the area. The following Tuesday, we leave for England. I come back, possible when I get back from England to be at Rotary that Wednesday and Penton when we get back. And then I leave for Rotary class, and then come back 2 days, and I have my knee surgery. So it's going to be a while since I'm back. If people would like to give donation to Rotary class, if you want to get to Lenny, and Lenny will see my wife while I'm away, and I'll make sure they get all submitted. Volunteer to help.
And after all that, it's going to be deer season.
Yeah. And then it's summer, and Jerry?
Oh, no, isn't that for road fund?
Yes.
Yes, oh yeah, I got a new granddaughter.
Yay! You know, if you want to, anyone else want to contribute to Randy's efforts, you know, don't dial 911. Drive it over to the Telford police station and drop it off. Yeah. Anybody else for Brags and Sags? Okay, this could be the week. The 50-50 raffle. Get your tickets out. There's only a few teas left. Zero 6-3. All right. Congratulations, Lisa. Here we go.
8-1. 8-1. That's not the one.
Wow. The excitement continues till next week. Okay. Congratulations, Lisa. So next week could be the week, folks. The pot continues to build. You know, as we leave this week, you know, we want to be mindful about people out in the community. We want to continue to see if we can invite people to visit our meetings, to maybe consider joining our club. You know, kind of like what happened on this day in 1869, when the Cincinnati Red Stockings became the first professional baseball team. Okay, have a great week, everyone. And when we go out and about, we are going to simply talk about Rotary today. Have a great week, everybody. Our membership meeting will be right after the conclusion of this meeting.